Hello folks, great to have you join me. Still learning English language with Uncle AY. So we have an expression on the board I want us to do justice to. But then before we go on, let's look at the instruction. Instruction is very paramount. So that said, instruction here says, what is the grammatical name given to the highlighted expression? What is the grammatical name given to the highlighted what? Expression. So here's our expression, and the expression we have what is highlighted. We need to find out what kind of grammatical name it conveys. So that said, the expression here says, the man who lives next door is a doctor. The man who lives next door is a doctor. So what is highlighted in this expression? Who lives next door? You can see that there's a relative pronoun introducing the expression itself. A relative pronoun, or you could also say a subordinating conjunction. So let's go on. Option A says a noun clause. Option B, an adjectival clause. Option C, an adverbial clause. Option D, a noun phrase. Which of this is correct? Okay. All right. Now let's find out. So first thing first, we need to understand what a clause or a phrase is. And if you've been following my previous videos, I'm very sure you know the definition of these two terms. So that's it. Let's find out if this expression is either a phrase or a clause. Who lives next door? So you can see that in the build up to the word, this expression has a finite verb in lives, so which automatically makes it what? A clause. But then we don't know what kind of clause it is. We're still going to find out. But then I think we need to strike out option D, since it comes in noun phrase. The expression is not a phrase. So we are left with three options: A, B, and C. Noun clause, adjectival clause, adverbial clause. So which of these is correct? Let's not forget that a subordinating conjunction introduces what? The expression. Option A here says a noun clause. A noun clause is one that has a noun as its head word and then a number of qualifiers. And then the functions of a noun clause, it comes in three forms: as a subject of the verb, object of the verb, complement of the subject. Now, if you look at this expression, we have a subject here, but there is no verb for the subject to what? To subject or perform. So that is out. This is not an object because it's not receiving any verb. Neither is it a complement. An adjectival clause here is a clause that qualifies a noun or a pronoun. An adjectival clause is one that is popularly introduced by subordinating conjunctions or a relative pronoun in who, whose, which, that, and so on. Right. So if you look at the build up, you find that there's a relative pronoun here or a subordinating conjunction introducing the expression. Okay, but then it also qualifies a noun or a pronoun in the expression. So let's find out who lives next door. Of course, this has to be our adjectival clause because at the end of the day, it qualifies the noun phrase, the man. So this is our answer here. But let's find out about option C. Option C says an adverbial clause. What is an adverbial clause? An adverbial clause is one that modifies a verb, an adjective, or another adverb in the sentence. But this expression is not an adverbial clause. Why? Because we have a relative pronoun introducing our very expression here, and this identifies much with the adjectival clause and not the adverbial clause. And the word WHO here is not a relative adverb. We have types of relative adverb. Examples of some relative adverb are when, because, since, or though, in spite of. So this right here is an example of an adjectival clause, and this is our answer. This is wrong. So an adjectival clause is the correct answer.